Today's Road Rant is going to be about budgeting strategies, money saving strategies, debt paying off strategies, really debt paying off strategies. So when you're on your route to getting out of debt, buying a house, or building up your savings, or any type of big purchase, or just changing your financial situation, you want to choose you a debt payoff strategy. There's a couple of them out there. There's a lot of them out there. But the two that's the most popular, I think, and I'm going to talk about today, is the avalanche strategy and the snowball strategy. I really like both. What worked for me, though, is the snowball strategy. And I'm the type of person that gets distracted easy. Like, I'm always going to the next thing. Like some people like to call it, I forgot what they call it. But yeah. I'm always on to like the next thing. So I have to get some traction with it fast. I have to see some results fast, or I'm going to keep searching for something else. Once I dive in, I'll commit, but I have to see some results fast. So the snowball method. We'll talk about snowball method first. The snowball method is basically you take your debt with the smallest balance. For instance, if you have 3 credit cards, one's a $500 limit, one's a $1,000 limit, and one's a $2,000 limit. You take the one that's $500 limit and you pay that one off first. You take any extra money that you have and you pay that one off first. And the reason it's called the snowball method is because once you pay that low balance off, you take that payment that was going to that, and then what you had extra, and you start paying off the next card, which would be the $1,000 one. And so it's like, once you pay off that first card, you get a little excited, and you get excited about the next one. And then that momentum builds up, just like a snowball. And then you get to the point where you're like, man, this is really easy to stick through this way, and I can actually see it through to the end. And for me, that worked. And it worked with a lot of my clients. And the reason I like to do it that way is because when people are in debt and their money ain't right, they get really discouraged easily when they're trying new things. And they're already discouraged, like they have like a bleak outlook on life at the time as well. And so they don't have a lot of faith in nothing at the time. But you have to slowly rebuild that with them. And I think the snowball method works best for me, and it works best for them. And it's what I recommend, because when you're coming up from down there like that, you need small wins. You need small wins, and you need them quick. It's hard for somebody to be cash strapped, money tight, debt and all that, and you want them to not see no results until 12 months or more from now. That's hard. There's all kinds of things that happen throughout just the span of 12 months. You got birthdays, you got holidays, if you got kids, you got school when school clothes come around. If you got kids as well, I get Christmas time. If you're a grandparent with grandkids, how it is Christmas time. So it's like things come up throughout the year, which can really throw you off. But if you have those smaller victories that you can get sooner, it's much better for the longevity of your path when you're trying to pay off this debt. What worked for me, like I said, was the snowball method. And it was the first one that I learned. And so I can't say that it's better than the avalanche method, but at the time, it worked for me. I grew to understand it, and I like it. So, if you want to know, if you want help getting your stuff situated with the snowball method, you can reach out to me. My email is in the bio. Shoot me an email, and I answer any questions. I answer questions when it comes to the YouTube channel. I answer any questions that I get via email. And if I can't get you the answer, I'll point you in the direction of where you can probably find the answer, or somebody who can find you the answer. From my understanding, with the snowball method, it was made popular by David Ramsey. So if you're familiar with him, or if you're not, that's where I heard about it from, and so that's where the credit and stuff goes to. Now, as far as moving on to the avalanche method, now the avalanche method is one that I actually haven't tried. I've just researched, and the avalanche method is the one to where you take your debts that have the highest interest rate, and you start paying on that. You start paying that one off first. You take any of the extra money that you have, and you pay towards that one. You pay towards that one. But it's because the one that has the highest interest rate is the one that's costing you the most money. That's the one that's taking the most money out. And in the long run, the avalanche method is the one that will save you the most money if you broke it all the way down. And if you broke it all the way down and did the numbers and compared the two, the avalanche method and the snowball method, that one would save you more money, and you would have paid less in interest if you did that one. I actually don't know a lot of people. I actually don't know anybody who did the avalanche method, and it's because, like I said, the method that I push for people is the snowball method, and it's because the habits, those good habits, are more important of developing to me than the habits than to just paying off the biggest one sooner. You're already in a lot of debt. You've been paying off debt. You've been paying a lot towards interest rates. So a few more months of paying that money towards the interest rate is not going to kill you. It's still been money out of your pocket, but these lessons, I've learned that it's better for you to develop and get an understanding of it. You need those wins, you need that motivation, and you need that momentum. It's very important. Majority of the people who come to any type of financial advisors, majority of the time, is people who need the help. And what I mean by people who need the help, it's not people who have their money situated. It's people who need to learn some new good habits. So that's why I really preach that and push that as the snowball method in comparison to the avalanche method. That's why I really preach that and push that as the snowball method in comparison to the avalanche method. But I'm not opposed to any method. If someone comes to me and says, hey, I want to try this method, I think this method would work best for me, and I would definitely put a plan and strategy together for them for that particular strategy. I'm not opposed to meeting my clients where they're at. I think that's really important as well, meeting someone where they're at, because if you come to, you have to know how to understand to get the best results, or not really the best results, but you have to know how to get results out of people, period. So if everyone comes to you and you're the type of advisor or consultant to where you're like, hey, we're doing it this way, that's it. But then it might not be, you may not get everyone's you may not get everyone to really do anything. It's kind of like a little psychology to where you're like, okay, how can I get them to do what's best for them, even though it's not really what they want to do, without them thinking that I made them do what I wanted them to do, because I felt it was in the best interest of that financial situation, being the financial consultant or advisor or whatever. And because you don't want to take advantage and try to manipulate anybody, but you really want to try to help people get in a better situation. And that's really what they come to you for. So that's what you want to try to do. With the avalanche method, if that's what a client wants to do, I'll put it together for them. Like I said earlier, I'll put it together for them. Whenever anybody comes to me, I always like to sit them down and figure out what is the purpose of what they're doing. Why do they even care now about changing their credit situation or anything like that? Because usually there's a reason as to why they're trying to do it. Whether it's they're trying to buy a house, they're trying to buy a car, a kid's getting ready to go to college, a huge trip, family vacations, stuff like that, anything. But there's usually always something. Usually. And so you want to try to figure out that reasoning, and that will help you understand and help hold them accountable for what it is that they're trying to do. And at that stage in someone's life, they're usually a little more willing to commit to doing what they need to do. You just have to get them to start seeing some results more sooner than later. But once you know that, then you can kind of reverse engineer the plan. If they're trying to save $50,000 towards a down payment on a home, then you see what they have to put aside each paycheck, and you calculate that and see how long it will take to get to $50,000. And if it's a substantial amount of time, then you start looking for ways to get creative. Okay, what can you cut out of your budget? How can you make some extra money? Different things like that. And then you kind of just build it out and fill it out from there, and then you can work your way backwards as far as the time frame goes. Say it takes 3 years. You can start working your way backwards, adding some side money here and there, and cutting things out of the budget to where you can back it up to maybe even a year and a half. So, but it can get you can get as creative as you like, and as creative as they like. When it comes to paying off debt, I do know the feelings of what it's like to have a lot of debt and no relief. Feeling like you got no relief, feeling like you're gonna be stuck there forever. But I'm telling you, you have to just ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask somebody for help, man. That's probably the biggest thing when things are tight, things don't seem like getting any better. Find somebody to ask for help. Like, we do a lot of research and stuff on our own, but when it's been going on for as long as it's been going on for you, ask somebody for help, man. Start looking into things that's in your area. Like, usually there's plenty of programs in your area. When I say programs, I don't mean like nothing you gotta go and sign up and apply for. What I mean is, like, there's different like network groups in your area of where people get together and just offer services, offer free services to people. Different mentorships and stuff to where people will help you and give you information and help you figure out options of how you can get your financial life in order. There's plenty of motivation on YouTube. But the thing with YouTube is sometimes you need somebody you can actually ask some specific questions to, and you may have to do a little bit more as far as reaching out through email. Like I said earlier, what y'all can do to me, reach out through email. When you're going through the comments, there's a lot of info in the comments, but they may not be able to get to all the questions in the comments. May not be able to get to every single one, at least. But if you take that initiative and actually reach out to somebody, you can even be somebody you know, somebody in your area. Who's that family member? Who's that friend? Who's that co-worker? Who's that somebody that you know is good with their finances? And ask them what things are always good for them, and ask them what do they recommend on starting when you're trying to turn yours around. Ask those type of questions. There's always somebody that you know who you think has their financial situation in order. But simply asking some questions and start to get you on the right track to give you the help that you need. So like I was saying at the top of the video though, the snowball method and the avalanche method, those are two of the main ones that really help people turn things around. If you want to reach out, if you want to sit down and work through your budget, and build you a plan to where you're always, to where your nest egg, to where your debt is always either decreasing or your savings is increasing. Reach out to me, send me an email. It's what'shardaboumoney@gmail.com. Like I said, it's in the link in the bio. Reach out to me. Need the help, y'all. Need the help.